for the processional. remain standing as we have the invocation by Pastor Delroy Josiah.
I invite you to bow your heads with me as we pray. Gracious Father and God, we're indeed delighted this afternoon to celebrate with the graduates of the preschool and the grade 6 class of the Maude Crosse School. You have brought them this far. You have given them wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. And now as we celebrate their accomplishment and wish them well as they move to the next level, we pray that you would be with them. As we celebrate this afternoon, O God, we ask that you would bless the proceedings. And may what is said and done here this afternoon be etched in the minds of the graduates and inspire them for greater success. These and other mercies we ask with thanksgiving we pray. In Jesus' name, let everyone say, Amen. Amen.
We will now have the national anthem by the students. You may be seated. Mr. Kevin Barrett, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education. Mrs. Avril Elliott, Education Officer for the Maude Crosse Preparatory School. Ms. Lornette Queely, the Superintendent of the Maude Crosse Preparatory School. Other specially invited guests, teachers, students, parents. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome. I begin by expressing my sincere gratitude for the honor and privilege of joining you today on this special occasion. To all the graduating students, I offer my warmest congratulations on your academic success. Today marks the culmination of many years of hard work and dedication. We all know that in these past 2 years, this graduating class has been forced to overcome exceptional uncertainties and challenges. But we also know that all of the setbacks and all of the challenges that you have endured in this ever-changing educational landscape has served to provide you with a remarkable bond and made your path unique. As a past student of the Maude Crosse Preparatory School, I have the utmost confidence that you have been fully prepared for the next step in your educational journey. I assure you that whatever the challenges of high school, the Maude Crosse Preparatory School has given you the necessary skills and the knowledge to overcome them. You have grown not just as students, but importantly, you have also grown as individual human beings. As you take your next steps, I urge you to be positive always. I remind you to be optimistic today, tomorrow, and always. I encourage you to walk down these streets with a smile. Allow me then to congratulate all parents, all teachers, and once more, all graduating students. I know you'll make your alma mater proud. We will now have a poem by Julio Gonzalez.
On this, your graduation day, all stand and give cheer to honor you for all the work you've done to get you here. On this, your graduation day, all stand and give cheer to honor you for all the work you've done to get you here. As we rise and give applause, be sure you don't forget that learning is not over as your future plans are met. May you always be a listener and learn from all you meet. Always keep a student spirit and your life will be complete.
Thank you, Julio. We will now have the school's report by the superintendent, Ms. Lorna Queeby.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good afternoon. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, allow me please to recognize with us in the audience today, Honorable Eric Evelyn, our Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Kevin Barrett, Ms. Zanella Claxton, our Principal Education Officer, Mrs. Avril Elliott, our Schools Education Officer, Ms. Londa Brown, our Education Officer from the Department of Education, our featured speaker, Mr. Vaughn Anslin, our patrons, Reverend and Mrs. Tricia Daniel, other distinguished invitees, and the very important people for today, our graduating class of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, I will join with the scripture and say, hitherto has the Lord helped us. Amen? Amen. Hitherto has the Lord helped us. We have come this far not on any strength of our own, but by the strength of the Almighty. I am deeply humbled and honored to be able to present to you today the Maude Crosse Preparatory Schools report for the school year 2021-2022. The Maude Crosse Preparatory School is a private, associated, limited company overseen by a board of directors, which comprises of Ms. Midge Morton, chairperson, Ms. Candice Pinney, assistant chairperson, Ms. Sandra Hector, secretary, Mr. Kyle Weeks, financial controller, Mrs. Kenisha David, schools relations officer and assistant financial controller, Mrs. Chanel Nisbet, assistant school relations officer, and Mrs. Tricia Daniel, ex officio member. The school year started with a full complement of staff members. On board were Mrs. Alicia Gilfillan, superintendent, Ms. Jodian Holness, deputy principal, Ms. Tanika Fernandez, Mr. Javon Hendrickson, Ms. Norissa Liburd, Ms. Rayana Simeon, Ms. Kishma George, and Ms. Loretta Alphonse. We also had with us Mrs. Francina Morton, who assisted in kindergarten. Mr. Wayne Moore and Mrs. Tanika Whiskey were also members of our staff. At the preschool level was supervisor Mrs. Anne Marie Smith, and she was assisted by Miss Antoinette Phillip and Mrs. Akeisha Liburd. The ancillary staff comprised of Miss Arlette Williams, administrative assistant, Mrs. Mary Ramsahai and Mrs. Marjorie Joy Layden, custodials, Mr. Kwesi Josiah, our landscaper, and Miss Stephanie Freeman, our crossing guard, and Jane of all trades. Our staff was also supported by the Nevis Cultural Development Team, headed by Mr. Corey Tyson, and our ever-ready, always-there sports team from the Department of Sports, Mr. Carl Tuckett, who was ably assisted by Mr. Sweeney, Mr. Sharma, and Mr. Daniel. At the beginning of the school year, there were 129 students registered at the school. There were 97 children at the primary level and 32 children in preschool. The school year was not without its challenges. As a matter of fact, term 1 found us in the heart of the pandemic, grappling with social distancing and other safety protocols. We were forced to make some significant changes, including having to shift the senior classes to another location. That new wing was overseen by the school's deputy principal, Teacher Holness. At this point, permit me please to pause and say a heartfelt thank you to the pastor and members of the Shiloh Baptist Church in Ramsbury for renting us the space in order to carry out our duties relatively uninterrupted. Being one of the first schools in the Federation to adopt an online platform, many of our classes were done in a hybrid manner to accommodate those children who could not make it to school physically. Although we were separated, our school stuck to its motto, endure to succeed. We participated in all major activities prescribed by the Ministry of Education, as well as our own in-house activities, all of which have been recorded as being extremely successful. The end of term 1 saw the teaching staff being decreased by 3 individuals in the persons of Mrs. Alicia Gilfillan, Superintendent, Teacher Whiskey, and Teacher Philip. These positions, however, were later filled by Miss Lornette Queely, Superintendent of the school, and 2 recent graduates of the Nevis Sixth Form College in the persons of Miss Najada Liebert, our new computer teacher, and Miss April Tyson, teacher's assistant. Not to be daunted, term 2 started with a bang, albeit fully virtually, on January 10th, 2022. With a new superintendent on the block, yours truly, the teachers were a bit apprehensive, most of them having only met her once before at an orientation exercise held earlier that month. Of course, they had their thoughts, and I'm sure the new superintendent had hers too. While only the preschool students were allowed to return to face-to-face classes, all teachers had to report to school physically and conducted their lessons in the comfort of their own classrooms. Their students were expected to attend classes virtually, whether they were at home in Nevis or overseas. I am pleased to report that weekly attendance for that period stood at an excellent and commendable average of 85%. With the entire student body returning to the physical classroom on January 22nd, full of glee at having returned to school, their excitement was contagious. Term 2 was characterized, or has been characterized, as a glorious period of culture and athleticism. We here at Maude Crosse are so very proud of our staff and students. The highlight for term 2 could have been our Black History Month, where our students embraced their cultural heritage through various artistic expressions at our annual Black History Month program. We then jumped into full gear, ready to represent our baby blue with the chant, "Baby blue looks good on you." Each child determined to showcase their athletic prowess. Those who were not so strong in the athletics field, though, surely strutted their stuff during our fundraising activities, which one day we dubbed it our Fun Fear Day, where all children who weren't strong at athletics were given a chance to do whatever they wanted to do, whether it was lime and spoon, egg race, sack race, and all those other races. Everyone at Maude Crosse is a winner. Term 2 also saw the school participating in the inter-primary championships. And this year, the inter-primary championships, I am going to say, was one for the books. We are known as the School of Excellence. And this is no joke, because you know what? One of our students is also named Excellence. So what can we say? We are the School of Excellence. I don't know what we'll be called next year because Excellence is graduating. But I know that he will not take all of the excellence with him. He has enough room to leave a little bit back with us. He's like 6 feet tall already at age not so old. In grade 6, he doubles up all of the teachers. So Excellence will be leaving some excellence at Maude Crosse. We, again, I must repeat that we are very proud of our students, our staff, and our coaching partners in particular. On Interprimary Day, we performed well. One of my favorite races was the 100-meter dash, when Excellence was so excellent. By the time I turned around, the race was finished. That child tore up the track. And if I may say so myself, that could have been the highlight of the school year 2021-2022. I want to thank the parents in particular for being so understanding. Those parents who have or who had children on the interprimary team, they were gracious in lending them to us so that they could practice all during the Easter vacation. They did not get 1 minute of rest for the Easter vacation. However, they did not disappoint. We went to the state-of-the-art Maude track, and we put on a state-of-the-art performance over there, and the rest is history. We continued in term 3, tired from terms 1 and 2. And anyone who has ever worked at a school knows what it feels like when we are coming down to the end. The first day of term 3 always feels like the last day of the year. Everybody is tired. But this is the term when we have to get ready for tests and examinations. This year, following the Ministry of Education's mandate, we participated in not the test of standards, but the new test that is on board from the Ministry of Education, the national assessment, where grades 4 and 6 were involved. We are hopeful that our children did well on those tests, even though those tests were not meant to grade children or place them in high school. We wanted to make sure that if anybody picked up a piece of paper, an examination paper, a test paper from the Maude Crosse Preparatory School, they would just look at it and see excellence. Term 3 has really been a challenge. This year, we also are celebrating our 45th anniversary. Let us give Maude Crosse a big round of applause. We celebrated our 45th anniversary under the theme, believe you me, I forgot the theme, you know. It's not on my paper. Could one of you guys help me with the theme, please? We endure, we strive, Maude Crosse 45. Yes, and our winning slogan came from Josiah Grant, a grade 4 student. Ladies and gentlemen, We have come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord, trusting in his holy word. And guess what? He has not failed us. I want to invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to applaud our children, all of them, even if they are not graduating, please. And at this point, I would like you as well to applaud our teachers. Those of you who are in the audience, could you stand and be recognized, please? Teachers of Maude Crosse, they're all over the place, working really hard. Some at the back, some here in front, looking good. Thank you very much, teachers, for your hard work. I also want you to celebrate with us and to celebrate with our children as they venture on to primary and secondary school. We know that out of this new endeavor, they will try to change lives. That is what they learn at Maude Crosse. So those of you, the tiny tots who are coming in to kindergarten, we celebrate you. Those of you who are leaving, don't forget to come back and look for us at Maude Crosse. Our youth are the future. We must preserve and cultivate all their amazing gifts and talents and be the village that they need. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that you will continue to partner with us with your monetary gifts, your time, your talents, and create a family environment where our children can continue to thrive and go on to positively impact their respective communities. Graduating class, please remember to walk in the confidence that God has given you. You haven't made it this far by chance. You have done well, and we applaud you. I am going to ask the preschoolers to stand and be recognized, and I'm going to ask their parents as well to stand with them. Because in this group, we have Alexa, who wants to be a veterinarian. We have Kaden, Ashante, Princess, Jamik, who want to be doctors. We have Kamari, who wants to be a teacher. And he's a real little teacher already. You don't want to see him in his blue glasses and his tie, looking just like real teachers are supposed to look. Then we have Amir, Sonija, and Sonija, who want to be artists. And we have Aaron, who says he wants to be a firefighter. Jaden wants to be a football player. Preston wants to be an engineer. And Ciara wants to be a ballerina. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? They will do what they say they want to do. One of these days, when you're up at Alexandra, lying down on the bed, and you see Kaden coming in, or Ashante, please don't cringe. They were trained at Maude Crosse, okay? Thank you very much. You may be seated. Grade 6, I'm going to invite you to stand, please, along with your parents. Shall we give them a round of applause, please? And among us, we have Aiden, Treyan, and Wandre, who want to be cricketers. And Mr. Chairman, permit me to tell a little story here. I love to tell stories. One day I was walking through the schoolyard, and some children were there playing cricket. And I saw one child giving some strokes, like with his tiles and so, and his face fixed, you know. I'm like, what? I'm getting goosebumps. And I'm watching this child, and I'm like, what is this, CBL? And I was so ashamed when I caught hug myself. I'm like, I hope nobody saw me. I was getting excited just watching these children practicing in the schoolyard. In the next couple of years, ladies and gentlemen, somebody is going to meet you, that person could be me, and say, I've been telling you so. We are going to have some West Indies players very, very soon. Let's give those guys a round of applause. Then we have Ciara, who wants to be an entrepreneur, specifically in the areas of real estate and interior designing. There is Gianna, who wants to be a gymnast. And Kimani, who wants to be a businessman / truck driver. Then we have Shelton, who wants to be a professional basketball player. St. Wally, he wants to be a professional football player and humanitarian. St. Wally, could you turn around and flash the audience one of your brilliant smiles? He has a smile to die for. And if he doesn't succeed here with what he says he wants to be, he's going to succeed elsewhere. But he will be successful because at Maude Crosse, we endure to succeed. Thank you. We are not done yet. We have Fantasia, who will be successful as a businesswoman. And last, give her a clap. Thank you. And last but not least, we have Zane, who is already on her way to becoming a Hollywood actress. Ladies and gentlemen, our grade 6 graduating class of 2022. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Thank you. I want to say a special thank you to our PTA executive members. Under the chairwomanship of Kenisha David, they did a tremendous job this school year. Mrs. David was accompanied or assisted by Mrs. Varen Brooks Tyson, Dr. Varen Brooks Tyson, Mrs. Wanda Forbes Williams, Miss Amy Williams, Mrs. Glendale Jones, Miss Amaretta Staines, and Mr. Jevon Hendrickson. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Again, with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I begging a lot this afternoon, but I don't know how many of you would have attended the Prince and Princess show on Wednesday evening here at NEPAC. Did anybody attend that show? When our little princess trotted their stuff across the stage, I only saw it on video because I had to be at another engagement. And I got goosebumps. All the children looked well, but you know who I was looking out for. Sorry to be biased. That baby blue, wherever I see it, I get goosebumps. So 2 of our graduates today are graduating children, Sanija and Jaden. Could you stand, please? Jaden, where are you? And Sanija, wave to the crowd like the prince and princess you are. Thank you very much. They did very well. They were sponsored by Mr. Hendrickson and RSJ Enterprises with Mr. Stuart Jeffers. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to seek your permission, please, to in asking the audience to stand and have just a couple of moments silence with me in recognition and appreciation of the life and work and the great service of Mr. Stuart Jeffers. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you may be seated. Grade 6, as you move on to high school, you are the top dogs right now at Maude Crosse Preparatory. You are the big boys and the big girls. When you get to high school, however, you're going to be the little boys and the little girls. But I think with the help of your parents, the teachers at the school, and the Almighty, you would have been through some grilling. Sometimes it wasn't to your liking, but you know, the diamond and all those sharp and bright tools have to go through the fire before they come out perfectly. And so we want to let you know that our prayers will be with you. However, please don't go to high school to embarrass us, because I will come right up there, whether you're in Gingerland or Charlestown, and embarrass you on the school premises. And you can tell your parents that I say so. You know what, though? They won't make us ashamed, because they have had such good training at the Maude Crosse Preparatory School. We are going to be proud of them. They are going to be proud of themselves, and we'll hear the success stories. Preschoolers, I can't wait to see you again in September, God's will. We will continue to have a great time. Sometimes I have to go the other way. I run from them when they see me coming. The other day, one of them almost made me lose a baby, because he bumped into me so hard, I had tummy pains for days. But this is the kind of love we share at that school. We embrace diversity. We welcome all. We do. And we are happy to work with your children. Parents, we have had a rather successful year. And as we see our children off to greater things, we continue to crave your assistance, your support. I would also want to say thanks to the Nevis Island Administration, who provides a very small but significant bit of financial support to the Maude Crosse Preparatory School. Mr. Barrett, if you may, please take our thanks back to the minister. We are eternally grateful. And as I speak, I'm thinking that I'll ask you to increase it a little bit for the new school year. But thank you very much. The education officers, all of them have worked well with us. Our parents, we can't thank you enough. Our business partners, too numerous to mention. Our prayer partners, our well-wishers, the Maude Crosse community. We appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Ms. Squeedy. I must admit, as a past student of the Maude Crosse School, hearing Ms. Squeedy speak about the accomplishments of the school in the last year has filled me with a sense of pride. You know, I'm very proud to tell everyone that I went to the Maude Crosse Preparatory School. And I hope that we'll have an even more successful year next year. We will now have a song and poem by the preschool graduates.
is for the alphabet, which we know how to say. B is for busybodies at work and at play. C is for colors, red, yellow, blue, and green. D is for drawing pictures, the best pictures you have ever seen. E is for exercise, to keep our body strong. F is for fun, we had gone along. G is for the good friends that we made throughout the year. H is for the happy faces filled with love and cheer. I is for imagination, use that every turn. J is for good jobs and praises we have earned. K is for kindergarten, hip hip hooray. L is for learning more and more each day. M is for minding and showing our respect. N is for numbers, 1, 2, 3, correct. O is for obstacles we want to overcome. P is for puppets and for play with it on the drum.
Good job.
Q is for all the questions that we ask throughout the year. R is for reading stories or even those who bring a tear.
Good job. Good job.
S is for the different snacks. 7, we are shy. T is for talking. It is not to be denied. U is for usual and sweet things we done. B is for the balance, yeah, parents and everyone. W for the worlds and worlds we buried into. X is for extra special kids. Is him, is her, is you. Y is for yes. 2 great years. Kindergarten, yes. We're ready, have no fear.
Thank you, preschoolers. We will now have the introduction of our featured speaker for today by Mrs. Jackie Honkins Taylor.
Good afternoon. Mr. Chairperson, please allow me to adopt the protocol so ably established. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to you our illustrious keynote speaker for today, Mr. Vaughn Anselin. Vaughn Anselin was born right here on the island of Nevis to Gloria Lita Anselin, one of the founding executive directors of the Maude Crosse Preparatory School, and Captain Arthur Anselin. Vaughn was a student of the first class of the school some 45 years ago. I am proud to call him my fellow alumnus, as he is a true example that great people and great successes come out of the Maude Crosse Preparatory School. Vaughn is well known for his creative pursuits, which range from paintings, canvas drawings, portraits, murals, event decor, signage, carpentry, sculpting, fashion designs with VA designs, body painting, taxidermy of animals, I remember that, Vaughn, and even acting. We can never forget the role he played on the soap opera, The Young and the Restless. Vaughn is completely self-taught, having begun drawing as a preteen, about the same age as our grade 6 graduating class, and continued perfecting his natural talents through practice. Vaughn's work is prolific across St. Kitts and Nevis, and his talent has made its way across the globe to London, Miami, New York, and even Dubai. It would be remiss of me to not highlight to you the awesomeness of Vaughn Anselin. As you can see from the screen, his work, his talent, his passion speak volumes. Vaughn's glorious creations not only showcases his personal journey, but also captures the essence of society. When you glance at his work, you are catching a glimpse of his soul and the wonderment of his ideas swimming in a sea of imagination. His creative beacon shines brightly for all to experience and enjoy. My wonderful audience, without further ado, and with a resounding round of applause, please help me welcome the amazingly talented and unique Mr. Vaughn Anselin. Come on, let's hear it.
Wow. With an introduction like that, I really don't need to say much. Thank you very much. It is indeed an honor to be here to address these graduates on their life journey. With the theme, Color Your Steps with Excellence. I think that's why I was chosen, because I'm always walking around with some kind of colored paint on my clothes or something like that, because my life is full of color. But it's the reason why I chose art as my career. I found out that I had a gift. As a member of the first group of students to attend this school, I stepped into a classroom in 1973. And back then it was just a small wooden building, no bigger than, wow, even this stage. And we sat on a bench in a row of kids, and it was, you know, a wooden bench. It was a small wooden house, but it was real, and it was a school. And we had real friends. We would go out into the yard and play pitch, marbles, and hopscotch, and, you know, CC might play, that kind of stuff. So we had a really good time, but even then, as a kid, I always knew I was different. I saw things differently. I didn't relate to a lot of things the kids did. And, you know, back then we had no cell phones, there were no distractions. But I always knew there was something else about me that was just different. And, you know, my kids used to say, "Well, Yvonne, you're so extra," you know, but I saw it then as an insult. But I've come to realize that being extra is not bad. So, as I went through my graduating class, like the kids before me, I saw this as a turning point, as a stepping stone, because I took a little step into a larger world. But when I went to high school, all of a sudden you weren't, like the lady said, we weren't the big kids anymore, we were the little kids. So you had a hard time fitting into all these other kids. They were different. But I didn't care. I didn't mind being different. And I like to draw. I mean, I really like to draw. I would draw everything. The view outside the window, the kids in the classroom, even the teacher as he taught the class. And I got into a lot of trouble for that. But through it all, that was me. And another thing is, I would daydream a lot. I would always dream about myself being in a sports car, or myself being this great artist, or myself modeling on a stage, because I used to see these pictures in, you know, JCPenney magazines and Sears magazines with these guys with their shirt off and looking all muscular and stuff. And I saw myself as that person. So dreams are not a bad thing. And you should never really try to keep kids away from their dreams, because everything that you think about, you can bring about. Because everything that we have started as a thought. It's very important to do that. And this goes for the parents as well, because you may not realize it, but you need to find out your child's gift. And I don't mean what they're good at, because some people, you know, they're passionate about something, but it's not their gift. And I'll tell you a story. My dad wanted me to be a fisherman. And now, there's nothing wrong with being a fisherman, but that wasn't me. I mean, I love the water, don't get me wrong, I love going to the sea, but I never saw myself as a fisherman. So I chose a different path. And to this day, even as my dad is now gone, he never forgave me for that choice. And yeah, even the last thing he said, I think, to my mom was that he really wanted me to be a fisherman. But I probably would not have been here if I had followed that path. So the choices that we make may not be the most popular choice, but it will be the most rewarding. And let me tell you another story. When I left school, I went to St. Croix, and I worked at the Hess oil refinery. And I was the guy up on the side of those big tanks painting Hess oil and little labels on the tanks, but that wasn't me, because for some reason I didn't like the smell of that petroleum all day, every day. So I was like, I'm not gonna do this for very long. So I came across an article in a newspaper, and it said, you know, sign painting school in Miami. So I was like, wow, okay, that sounds like something I want to do. So I headed off to Miami, don't know anybody, paid my, you know, my little, the cost that they said to pay, and I was there. Got to the airport, sat at the airport, there was no one there to greet me, so I figured, well, they're not around. Got into a taxi cab, and I left. Went to the address that I had on a piece of paper, got there, and it was just an apartment. There was no school. There was nothing. It was just some guy that sent out random things to get money, and it was a total sham. So here I was in Miami, don't know anyone, walking around, and then I came across a junkyard. I saw a van out in the corner of the lot. So I walked up to that, opened the door, looked inside, and I called that van home for 2 weeks until I can find a guy, he was a sign painter, couple blocks down the road, and he hired me, and I started sign painting with him. And I stayed in Miami for about 2 years until I left to come back to the Four Seasons. Now, the reason why I'm telling you that story is that because life is not easy, and not every choice that you make may seem like the right choice at the time. But I was realizing that God was preparing me for something and a path that I needed to experience this. I needed to see what hardship was like, the isolation and the pain to make me a better person. Now you can face this journey in two ways, with apprehension or anticipation. The problem is, most people face the future with apprehension. And you know why? They never really set out a goal. They never really set out a list. And this is what I want you kids to do. I want you to make a list of the things that you want to do in life. A lot of you said you want to be this, you want to be a basketball player, you want to be a doctor. Well, you know what? Write that down on a piece of paper. Tell it to yourself. See yourself playing ball. See yourself as a doctor. See yourself in the position that you want to be in, and you will make it so. However, don't show anyone this list. And I'll tell you why. There's always someone out there who should know what you want to do more than you. So people always try to tell you, no, don't do that. No, don't get that. If I used to follow that, I would not be here today, because no one thought I could ever take art as a career, that I could make any kind of living as art. And to this day, people still don't understand how I did it, because art encompasses everything that I do. It's the drawing, the painting, the decor, the production design at MSR Media. It's all a part of my artistic ability and the way I choose to live and pursue my career. You can dream all you want. There's no dream that's too big. There's nothing wrong with being extra. Because I tell you what, you can live your life ordinary. You know, you can be regular. You can have a regular job, 9 to 5. You can have a regular car in a regular life. And it's all good. There's nothing wrong with being regular. But that's just ordinary. You want to be extraordinary. You have to put that extra that the kids I used to say, people used to tell me, onto ordinary and make yourself extraordinary. And there's nothing wrong with that. But then there you go. Once you put that into perspective, your entire life will be different. So I implore you kids to find your gift. Find that thing that you do with the least amount of effort, with a maximum amount of reward. And that reward is not just money, but satisfaction as well. Remember that dream sports car that I had? I owned it at the age of 20. And that dream of modeling in a magazine, well, I went to New York in 1990. And I started modeling for a company called Faces International. This company provided the models for Sears and JCPenney. And guess who was in the summer catalog for JCPenney? So my advice to you kids is to follow your dream. The future is all yours. Everything and anything is possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaughn. We will now have a song by the grade 6 class, Hall of Fame.
Mr. Nurse.
You can build a God, go banging on his door. You can put your hands up, you can be the top. You can move mountains, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for love. Dedicate yourself and you will find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. And the world is the brightest flame. Yeah, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. And you're in the Hall of Fame. You can run a distance, you can run a mile. You can walk straight through hell with a smile. You could be a hero, get the gold. Breaking all the records that had never could be broken. For your people, do it for your pride. All you're gonna know if you never even try. Do it for your country, do it for your name. Cause there's gonna be a day when you're standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah, yeah. Cause you burn with the brightest flame. Yeah, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion. You can be a champion. Be a champion. Be a champion. Walk the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. Cause we burn with the brightest flame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can be the best. You can be the king, pop back on the chest. You can be the world. You can be the wall. You can talk to God, go back on his door. You can throw your hands up. You can be the top. Yeah. You can be a champion. You can be a master. Don't wait for God. Dedicate yourself and you'll find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame. Standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Chill. It's a hungry. I could just hear Mr. More voice in the background.
Thank you, graduates. We will will now have the valedictory speech by Rondre Daniel. A round of applause as he comes to the stage.
It was the late, great Martin Luther King Jr. who said, and I quote, "The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character. That is the true goal of education." End of quote. That has been the goal of the Crosse Preparatory School. Not just to create intelligent students, but to create students of character. Allow me to adopt the protocol so ably established by our chairperson, except, of course, to recognize my fellow graduates of the class of 2022. We did it. I stand before you, humbled and honored to be the valedictorian of the Crosse Preparatory School for 2022. I want to divide this speech into 3 parts. Firstly, I will discuss the past, then the praises, and conclude with some prescriptions for the future. The past. My journey to this prestigious and propitious institution started way back in 2013, where I was welcomed by the nurturing and caring Mistress Anne-Mary Smith and Mistress Penny in preschool. They taught us how to color, write our names properly, learn our ABCs, and that gave us a sure foundation for kindergarten. In kindergarten, we were welcomed by the indefatigable teacher Lena Spelling. She taught us how to add and subtract, spell, read, write, and the importance of discipline. Her teaching methods guaranteed us a successful grade 1. In grade 1, we had 3 different teachers, 1 for each term. In term 1, teacher Sophia Hewitt welcomed us with a calm spirit. We would remember the time she would have spelling competitions, teach us maths, how to read, and much more. I remember vividly her melodious singing voice when she was teaching us our skip counting by 2s and 3s. In term 2, teacher Fifield taught us the importance of discipline. She was strict, but she loved us dearly. In term 3, teacher Chavian Walwyn took up the mantle of being our teacher and still our principal. She made us realize that nothing comes without hard work. In grade 2, the efficacious teacher Jordan Holness welcomed us with a friendly manner. She made learning enjoyable, fun, and interesting by showing us phonics videos, maths videos, and grammar videos. She knew every student like the back of her hand. That was scary for us because she knew when we were doing something mischievous. She was an amazing teacher, and we loved her very much. Her saying was, "I don't tolerate disrespect." In grade 3, we were met by the incomparable and loving teacher Ellen Grant. Personally, she was one of my favorite teachers. She was always encouraging us, giving us lots of notes, and always been there for us. One of my fondest memories of her is when I used to pick sports books for my book report. So one day, she stayed by the bookshelf and caught me. She gave me a 150-page book. I took it and read it. And I believe by her doing that, she made me become the local and national reading competition winner. I am truly grateful for that. In grade 4, we had the energetic teacher Tanika Whiskey. I believe that she was an incredible teacher. She took care of that grade 4 syllabus easily. She always encouraged us to get out of our shells, be brave, and never be afraid to tell the truth. She molded me into an amazing narrative writer. I am truly grateful for that. In grade 5, we were welcomed by the compassionate teacher Tanika Fernandez. She taught us the importance of not being afraid to speak publicly. She made learning fun through projects such as vision boards, clocks, and family trees. She's also one of my favorite teachers who left an impression on me. I always remember her saying, when public speaking, always look above the crowd. Teacher Fernandez, I am doing that right now. I respect my grades 4 and 5 teachers for making learning extremely fun online during the COVID-19 outbreak. Teacher Whiskey and Teacher Fernandez, you are the real MVPs. In grade 6, we were met by 2 of our past teachers who were the energetic teacher Tanika Whiskey and the efficacious teacher Jodian Holness. In term 1, Teacher Whiskey was in charge of our social studies and science, while Teacher Holness was in charge of our maths and language arts. Since they were 2 of our past teachers, we bonded easily. Learning was fun and enjoyable. In term 2, my daddy was in the hospital for most of it, but Teacher Holness was critical in encouraging me to stay on top. In term 3, Teacher Holness prepared us very well for our national assessment and encouraged us that there was nothing to worry about. Thanks for being that key to our success, Teacher Holness. We appreciate you. The praises. Firstly, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for always being by my side throughout life and allowing me to become the valedictorian. Secondly, I would like to thank my parents, Ron and Teresa Daniel, for always encouraging me and helping me with my assignments and projects. You guys have always been there for me. You look out for my best interests, and I am forever grateful. I have to thank my intriguing brother, Rosen, for always believing in me. Also, my grandparents, Anthony and Violet Nisbet, and Hastings and Morva Daniel, who have been my rock and support from the time I knew myself. There's nothing they won't do for me, and I love them for that. My godparents, some of whom are here today, who continue to help me to be a better me. My uncles and aunts are the absolute best in the world, and I am grateful for every one of them. I also have some adopted big brothers and sisters who are also here today. Thank you for mentoring me. I also have to thank Mr. Bingy Paris, my drumming teacher, Mr. Keith Atherton, and Mr. Stuart Williams, my cricket coaches, and the Brown Hill Cricket Club for accepting me at a young age to focus on cricket. These kept me grounded. I would like to thank all who helped me during the time my daddy was ill and almost died. You know who you are. Thank you. Additionally, I would like to thank this wonderful school for accepting me here, the superintendents, providing amazing teachers and dedicated auxiliary staff, allowing me to enter competitions, and for intriguing sports days. I would like to thank Ms. Avril Elliott, our education officer, for her support, as well as Ms. Therese Duo, who accompanied me to St. Lucia for the reading competition. Lastly, I want to thank my classmates, some of which have been with me since daycare at Stepping Stones with Teacher Dayset. I would like to thank my brother Treyon Daniel. You have been with me since in the womb, and you have always been pushing me and encouraging me. You are like a mini lawyer as well. I love you, bro. Aiden, the one who wants his paper to be marked as soon as he submits it, but he cares for others. St. Wally, the one who always wants to look out for our teacher. Shelton, the one who specializes in sarcasm. Kimani, the one one who guarantees a joke and is helpful. Excellent, the amazing athlete who is also very kind. Gianna, the one who always models around the classroom. Fantage, Zane, the fashionista and an extraordinary athlete. Fantasia, the one who runs errands for our teacher. Delina, the one who likes to share. And Ciara, the one who's a boss at maths. This is your moment too. Please stand and take a bow. The prescription. As I close, I would like to leave some words of advice. I would like to inform you that pressure should not break you, it should build you. Remember, things don't come without hard work. Legends aren't defined by their successes, but they are defined by how they bounce back from their failures. Philippians 4:13. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. When you leave here today, celebrate what you have done, what you have accomplished, but look forward with an eye to see how you can be an inspiration to others. As we move on to high school, don't be afraid, and remember our motto, endure to succeed. I will miss you, Maude Preparatory. I will miss you. I thank you.
Well said, Randre. We will now have the presentation of graduation certificates and awards.
Good afternoon. I would just like to adopt the protocol previously established. My task this afternoon is a very simple one. I'm tasked with presenting the awards to this year's graduates. We will start with the preschoolers. So for our top 3 graduates from preschool, we have Miss Alexa Madison Keynes, who also receives the award for most helpful. Can we have Miss Alexa Keynes, please? Followed by Miss Ciara Samuel. And Miss Ashante Rowe. For the students who received the Most Improved Student Award, we have Mr. Preston Walwyn. followed by Mr. Jameek Angle. And Mr. Caden Powell. Followed by Miss Sanaisha Parry, who receives the award for most helpful students as well as leadership skills. Mr. Amir Huggins de Lashley. Mr. Kimari Reed. Mr. Aaron Williams. Followed by Mr. Jaden Grant. And last but not least, Miss Princess Elise Barrow. We move right up into our senior graduates, starting with our valedictorian, Mr. Rondre Daniel. Rondre receives the Fanny's Variety Store Valedictorian Award, the JHT Law Firm Social Studies Award, the Outstanding Performance in Science, the Clear Lake Award for Reading, the Hope Nevis Language Arts Award, the Level Up Science Award, the Video, Graphic Sports and Academics Award, the Best Boy Award, Excellence Award, and last but not least, the Kitley Crosse Award for Spiritual Commitment. Give it up for Andre Daniel, please. Next we have our salutatorian, Miss Ciara Taylor. Give it up for her, please. She received the Salutarian Award from the Finnish Touch, the Award in Outstanding Performance in Science, the Samuel Hunkins Mathematics Award, the Best Girl Award, the Ciacia Tyson's Top Girl Language Arts Award, the Science Award, and the Virtues and Character Recognition Award. Followed by Delina Spellin, who is our honorary mention. Delina received the Heinz Electrical and Equipment Honorary Mention Award, the Best Behaved Student Award, the JHT Law Firm Social Studies Award, the Most Consistent Student Award, Virtues and Character Recognition Award, and last but not least, the Maude Crosse Preparatory Board of Directors, upholding the principles and ideals of the school. Give it up for Delina, please. Next we have Mr. Treyon Daniel. He receives the Leadership Award, the Best Mathematics Award, the Noteworthy Award Academic Consistency Student Award, the Virtues and Character Recognition Award, the Most Cooperative Award, and the Honorable Spencer Brandt's Most Improved Student Award. Give it up for Treyon. We go directly into Kimani Fleming. Give it up for Kimani. Kimani receives the Innovative and Creative Student Award, the Most Helpful Student Award, and Excellence in Creative Studies Award. Give it up for Kimani. Next, we have Mr. St. Wally Gishard. Give it up for St. Wally Gishard, please. He receives the Music Award, the Nicalia Tyson Humanitarian Award, the Courage to Overcome Award, Most Helpful Student, and Enthusiastic Leader Award. Give it up for St. Wally. Mr. Excellence Nisbet. Let's give it up. Excellence Nisbet receives the Trade and Consumer Affairs Sports Award, the Most Helpful Student Award. Give it up for Excellence. Mr. Shelton Hawker. He receives the General Helpfulness Award. Give it up for Shelton, please. Mr. Aidan Williams. He receives the Rice Crosse Analytical Mind Award, the Carlon Bowen Tuckett Sports Award, Monique Evelyn's Bright Future Award, Most Consistent, and the Mathematics Award. Miss Gianna Stephen. She receives the Carlon Bowen Tuckett Sports and Academics Award, the Avalon Science Award, and the JHD Law Firm Social Studies Award. Give it up for Gianna. Next we have Miss Fantasia Stobie. She receives the Innovative and Creative Award, the Honorable Spencer Brand's Most Improved Student Award, the Most Helpful Student, Excellence in Creative Studies Award, and Videographics, Sports, and Academics Award. Give it up for Fantasia. And last but definitely not least, Miss Zane Underwood. Give it up for Zane, please. Zane receives our Best Literary Skills Award, Outstanding Leadership Initiative Award, the Monique Evelyn's Bright Future Award, and the Trade and Consumer Affairs Sports Award. Give it up for Zane, please. I have a special presentation to be made to some special parents. I would like to call Miss Shakima Cornelius to the stage. Shakima Cornelius. Mr. James Stephen. but not least, Mr. Lenroy Taylor. These awards were presented as an appreciation for your continuous support over the years. Thank you.
Graduating classes, can you stand please? Preschoolers, grade 6 children. Our theme says, color your steps with excellence. The journey has just begun. Preschool, grade 6, you are now proud graduates of the Maude Crosse Preparatory Preschool and the Maude Crosse Preparatory Primary School. You may now turn your tassels to the right. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our graduating class of 2022.
We will now have the presentation to our patrons today by Jalen Nisbet and Tristan Stovey.
Please accept this small token of our love and appreciation for your kind support to the Maude Crosse Preparatory School over the years. Mrs. Danya, love you, appreciate you, thank you, thank you, thank you, bye.
Thank you very much, Tristan. Thank you.
The grade 6 class, its parents are very appreciative of the hard work that our teacher Holness has put in. And we also know that they have given her some interesting times. They can be a bit much, but we know. We've been with them. They are a fun bunch, and they can sometimes raise your levels of pressure. And so we want to make a presentation to Teacher Holness on behalf of all the parents of the grade 6 class. Could Teacher Jody and Holness come forward, please? We want to thank you so much for all you do, and we thought it best to give you something to help you relax. Could the students please stand and give Teacher Holness a big rousing round of applause.
A special thank you to our patrons for today, Ron and Mrs. Tricia Daniel. We will now have the voter thanks by Miss Anne-Marita Staines.
Good evening, everybody. In all things, one needs to give thanks, and the pleasant duty today is mine to thank all those who made today possible. On behalf of the superintendent, the staff, the students, and the parents, I would like to extend sincere gratitude to one, Pastor Delroy Josiah for the invocation, the chairperson, Mr. Tyler Martin, for the warm welcoming remarks, the superintendent, Ms. Lorna Queely, for delivering the school report, as well as her presentation of the graduates. Our special distinguished and invited guests, Mrs. Jackie Hunkins-Taylor, for introducing our special featured speaker, Mr. Anslin, Mr. Vaughn Anslin, for the featured address, as well as sharing nuggets of wisdom for the graduating class of 2022. The students, Gianna, Rondre, and Fantasia, for singing the national anthem, Ulia Gonzalez for the poem, the preschool graduates for their song and poem, the grade 6 graduates for their lovely rendition of the Hall of Fame, Teacher Holness, Teacher Fernandez, and the other teacher for presenting the graduates with their certificates, the patrons, Mr. Ron Daniel and Mrs. Tricia Daniel, for being the patrons for graduation ceremony today, Jalen Nisbet and Tristan Stobie for the presentation to the patrons, our valedictorian, Rondre Daniel, for doing such a marvelous job in representing the graduating class of 2022. Finally, thanks to all invited guests, parents, and whose presence has contributed to making today a success. Thanks to all.
Thank you, Ms. Staines. Can we all please stand for the recessional?
I'll see the beat guy.